I recently made another book outlet haul. Because, like I've said, I have no self-control. If you are interested in watching all the other book outlet hauls that I've done recently, you can check them out. I will leave the playlist, but I'm stocking my shelves. I had some pretty empty shelves when we started this, and now I've got to buy more shelves. It's a problem, but it's not, because I like cheap books. So that's why I shop at Book Outlet. Alright, so the first book that I picked up is The Darkling Wood. I don't know much about this book. You're gonna see that as a theme, especially in this haul, because I just threw in a bunch of books that like were $1, $2. I didn't really know much about. Seemed like they had a decent cover. The synopsis seemed kind of interesting at the time, but then by the time it got to me, I kind of forgot why I picked them up. So yeah, I'm excited to read it because I know I picked it up because I thought it looked interesting, but I don't remember why. So if you've read this, let me know. What do you think about any of these books? If you've read them, let me know what you think, because I love opinions and I love to hear your opinions and see if our opinions match. Another one that I picked up is Sabriel. This one I have heard good things about. Thoughts on Tomes has talked about it before, so I'm excited to pick it up. She said that it's got necromancy and it's kind of more YA dystopian, I believe. So I'm excited to check this one out. Another one that I picked up is Amid the Skies and Darkness. This one sounded really fascinating. Again, it's one I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, but it is a sci-fi, and it's this human girl is like mistaken to be this alien princess that's hiding out on Earth, and she's abducted, and basically the aliens that abducted her are like making her pretend to be this missing alien princess. So yeah, I'm down. I'm here for it. That sounds fabulous. Alright, another one that I picked up is a memory called Empire. This is touted as a sprawling space opera with murder and intrigue and royalty, and it sounds so good. I'm so here for it. I've heard really good things about this one in the booktube community, so I'm excited to pick it up. Alright, another one that I picked up is the Lanterns Ember. This one is a fantasy story about a girl who is a witch, and she is drawn into this other worldly kind of underworld-esque plane, and that shenanigans happen. I'm excited. That sounds so up my alley, and the cover is really cool with that skull. Again, I don't hear many people talk about these. I think a lot of it is because it's like an older release. These aren't new releases. Like, I'm not usually buying a lot of new releases because I like to spend my money wisely and cheaply. And I have kids that I have to pay for, and they're expensive, so I usually buy stuff when it goes on sale, and that is what I am doing here. The next two that I picked up actually go along with the previous haul, and that is the second and third book in the Benti series. Again, these are both really, really small novella style books, but they're bigger than the first one. Let's see, the second one, we got 150 pages, and then this one's like 175 pages. So we got Home, and this one is The Night Masquerade. I really think I can read this whole series in a month because they're so short, but I'm so excited because I've heard a lot of really good things about this series. So I'm excited to actually like dive into it. Another one that I picked up is not my typical books that I would read, and that is Eat the Sky and Drink the Ocean. And this is actually a collection of short stories, but they all sounded super good. It's like a retelling of Red Riding Hood, and like the story just sound good. The cover is beautiful. Like, I just couldn't say no. This was probably a definite cover buy. But it says stories of imagination and daring, and I just couldn't say no to this. It's short. I can probably read it quickly. There's like some comic looking drawings in it. So I'm excited. Ooh, light. I'm excited to read this one. Especially because It's outside of my comfort zone, so I'm really excited to move more outside of my comfort zone this year. All right, another one that I picked up is Blood Rose Rebellion. This is another one I don't know much about, but it was like $1 on Book Outlet, and it's a hardback. From the synopsis, it is a girl who is born into royalty, but the whole royal family can perform magic, and she cannot. Or can she? So this is one that I'm excited to read. It sounds really intriguing. I mean, for $1 something for a hardback, like, I'm gonna get it. I also picked up Seafire. This I have heard a little about, but not too terribly much. I kept seeing it on Book Outlet, and I would just like pass on it and pass on it and pass on it, and like it finally just spoke to me, and I picked it up. It's again another kind of pirate vibes story, so I am super excited to read more about this, see what it's all about. If you've read this, let me know, because I'm curious about it. And pretty much the whole reason I made this Book Outlet order is because of this next book. I saw it on there, I knew it was gonna go super fast, and then of course, you know, I needed more books to make the free shipping, and then I might have gone a little overboard. But this is the whole reason for this Book Outlet order, and that is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Y'all, I've heard such amazing things about this book. Everybody loves it, and the cover is awesome. I'm excited to read a fantasy story written by a woman, like, because I feel like there's not enough, like, adult fantasy stories written by women. So I literally made this whole haul for this book. I also picked up Nemesis and Genesis from Book Outlet. These were like a couple dollars a piece, so I was like, why not just pick up both of them? This was the sequel, this is the first book. I believe it's just a duology, but I could be wrong, because I think there's only the two. Either it's a duology or there's only 2 out right now. This has the premise of it's a young girl who every 2 years, I believe, on her birthday is murdered, and then she wakes up and is alive and doesn't know who's killing her or why she's being killed, why she's not staying dead. So I don't know, it just sounded really good, and obviously there's 2, so you know I love a series. I love cheap books, so I'm excited to read these. Alright, the next book that I picked up is The Merciful Crow. For 1, the cover is beautiful, and for 2, I don't know too terribly much about it, but what I do know is that there is a caste system, and the crows are the lowest of the castes, and they are the ones that collect the dead, bury the dead, dispose of the dead. Something happens, and our main character ends up being called to collect the remains of, I believe, the prince, and come to find out he's not dead. So that just sounds super fascinating, and I think there's a sequel either out or coming out this year. So I want to read this and look more into the sequel that I think is coming out this year. I also picked up The Last Girl on Earth. This is another short standalone. This is about a girl who is literally the last human on Earth. Everyone else on Earth is an alien except for her. She's been adopted by aliens. She's friends with aliens. So that's all I really know about it. Again, a super fun, looks like it's going to be a quick standalone sci-fi read. I'm trying to read more sci-fi this year, if you cannot tell, so if you've read this, let me know. Another one that I picked up that I know nothing about, and I got it because it was $1 on Book Outlet for a hardback, was Gather the Daughters. Again, I have no clue what this is about. The synopsis, it seems a little confusing. It's this island, and it's like everyone has their place and time. Women are basically just child bearers, I believe, and it's kind of them rising up, the young girls rising up to change their place in society, and I could be totally wrong. That's the vibes that it gave me, so I'm super excited to read this. It's a little bit longer. I believe it's a standalone as well. It is a debut, so I'm super excited to check it out. I picked up Bright Star. This just sounded super interesting. Really, the cover got me, again, with the dragon. This is about a girl who is a servant in the, like, mayor's palace, and one day assassins come to kill the mayor. She sees that as her chance to escape, so she leaves with the assassins, and come to find out she ends up having this bond with this dragon somehow, and you know, this once downtrodden outcast servant is basically needing to be a leader in this rebellion. And those are all my buzzwords: dragons, leader, rebellion, outcasts. Like, I'm sold. I'm sold. I bought it. Now let's read it. The last book that I picked up is The Light Between Worlds. This is more of an urban fantasy. It's these sisters, and I believe they're twins, and they went to this other world at one point, and then they came back into the real world. One sister is adjusting just fine. The other sister wants to go back to this fantastical kingdom, and one day the sister that wants to go back she goes missing. So it's kind of this story of family, and I've heard it's got a really good depression representation and anxiety, so I'm really excited to get into this and see what it's all about. Alright, y'all, that is all of the book outlet books that I picked up recently. Hopefully you enjoyed this, looking at my consumerism and seeing all the books that I've bought that I really don't know why I bought, because I can't describe them very well. Alright, well, if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Bye.